He says, launch out. And he says, lay down. He says, thrust out, launch out, and lay down. Can I say it again? He said, to thrust out, launch out, and then lay down. But watch this. When he told him to thrust out, he said, I don't want you to go far. Just thrust out a little bit from the shore. And he said, as he pushed away from the shore, it says here, if you would translate this in the Hebrew text, it says that launching is a forward action. It's an action that prepares for an attack. You missed it. I said it is an action that prepares for an attack. Jesus was getting in the position to launch his attack on the devil. You may not see it, but it's in the text here. Because the people came to hear not a word from Satan, but to hear a word from the Lord. Can I stop here and just diverse a little bit? I know that I heard about how many folk came under the leadership of Pastor here, and I know how many would join the church and were sinners in the world. Some came back, some accepted Christ, but it was not the pastor, but it was the preacher. Watch this. When God has given you a pastor, he'll send you a preacher. What are we talking about? Well, preaching is the persuasion, the power of persuasion. There are many types of preachers. There's political preachers. I wish I had some help in here. There are prosperity preachers. And I thank God, can I say I know him? I know him from before he was preaching, but I can see in his life right now that he's not a political preacher. He's not a politician, but he's a gospel preacher. The gospel is the good news of Jesus. So when you enter into this building, you did not see Pastor Payton, but you saw Reverend Dr. Jesus, who literally is Pastor Payton. And when Pastor Payton is here and he's praying for you, he's talking to the Lord. And I just think I got to get going to close here. It's not going to be long over here. But it says and he entered into one of the ships which belonged to Simon Peter. And he prayed him that he would launch out a little from the land. As he launched out, he began to set his attack on Satan.